right?
Yeah, no,
I'm asking you to confirm, Bill. But the thing is, if you are a sportsman or you are a person who goes to Ranger shows, and you are to the AR-15, I can literally and okay, so somebody clearly screwed up, right? And obviously I've gotten to Secret Service in the last three months. The guys on my detail, universally super professional, good guys, but it's not the guys on the ground who are protecting the president. It's all the innocent side around it. It's the leadership that refused to grant resources, and I actually think it's a huge scandal. Like, why isn't Congress? Why isn't the Harris administration being more forthcoming about what happened? They seem to be in cover your ass mode when the American people just need to actually learn some details about how a guy got so close to the President of the United States.
I mean, listen, obviously there's a lot of people in the intelligence community that are patriots, pretty cool. Of course. Some of them are. Some of them are. And my question is, if you have social media companies agree to censor a story about misinformation, that request is signed on by top members of the intelligence community, current and former, and they are spreading the narrative that the Russian hoax of the story is that election interference by members of the intelligence community. What does that say about the democratic process in this country? These are the people that are lecturing constantly about democracy and how important it is and what a threat you are. President Trump democracy. There's no accountability. Have they said sorry? I mean, has anyone,
They haven't said sorry. None of them have lost their security clearance, right? Despite participating in a massive hoax. And I firmly believe, and I've seen independent analysis that suggests this, that if the American people had known the full truth about the Hunter Biden laptop, because it implicated Joe Biden himself in potentially criminal, but at least corrupt wrongdoing, right? So I think it would have shifted the election. I think Donald Trump would be the president of the United States right now. And, this is always why I get into the media. They say, there's no evidence that this thing happened. Well, there might not be any evidence that, Dominion hacked the voting machines, but there's sure as hell evidence that our intelligence community conspired with big tech to literally control the flow of information in the days and weeks before an election. That's a way bigger threat to democracy than Donald Trump making a joke that you don't like, and yet we don't talk about that. We're on the subject of threats to democracy. The craziest thing that happened in the Trump administration, in my view, in terms of threat to democracy, is, and there was a New York Times story about this, that the leading generals in our country were lying to Donald Trump about troop redeployments in Syria so that they could say that we were drawing troop levels down, but in reality, we weren't. Right? They were staggering how they did redeployments. From the commander in chief. Like, the most fundamental the elected president is the commander-in-chief. You had generals, Mark Milley, the Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman, lying to Donald Trump. That's a threat to democracy, not when Donald Trump makes a joke around.
Who are these people working for, not the president of the United States?
Well, they're working for the permanent bureaucracy. People call it the deep state. What the deep state is just when you have an organization that becomes self-perpetuating. These people have military contracts, they have corporate board seats. That all becomes part of who they're really serving. And again, people are going to lie to themselves. Do I think that Mark Milley woke up every day saying, I'm serving the military-industrial complex and I can't wait to get my Raytheon board seat? No, he wasn't thinking that way. He was thinking that true democracy was the opposite of whatever Donald Trump wanted to happen. But in reality, Mark Milley doesn't determine what democracy is. The American people determine that. And so when the American people make a decision, you have to respect that decision, even if you don't like the guy that they ultimately elected. But I really, this is like the psychological trick that's been played on people like Dick Cheney and Kamala Harris, and I think they're all, they all participated in it. They all participated in it, but they're all honestly kind of victims of it too. is that they've convinced themselves that the real threat to American democracy, it's not when, like, the Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman disobeys the elected president, it's when the elected president does something they don't like. I think that psychological trick is at the heart of a lot of the problems.
Is it going to be difficult to secure order
Uh-oh.
people here in some of them may have committed crimes? Obviously, there's been instances of people murdered by people that are here illegally. How does that work? Are you able to do that? Is that possible? What would that look like?
Yeah, so I joke with reporters that, you can't possibly do it. And I said, it's kind of like if you have like a Big Mac, and you say you can't possibly eat that whole thing. Well, the way you do it is one bite, second bite, higher bite. That's how I think about
Hi.
You start with the most hardened criminals, about 425,000 violent, illegal alien criminals, and you know where most of them are because they commit crimes, right? So you do law